Assalamu alaikum. Today is 18th of December 2020 and the day is Friday. Students, it's a bright sunny day today and I'm enjoying it a lot because it's quite cozy in the classroom. See, in the last few days we have experienced severe cold, right? But I think that it's the demand of the weather. अगर सर्दियों में सर्दी ना हो तो फिर सर्दी का मज़ा नहीं है ना. So, Allah Ta'ala सबके लिए खैर और आफियत रखे. We'll start our lesson. As we are doing unit number 9, this is the last lesson for unit number 9. We'll be doing written work for questions and answers here. Science and exploration. But before starting our written work, I want to revise the important points of this unit. Again, here in this lesson, Islamic world. In every lesson, we have discussed that from 8th century to 13th century is the age of discovery and exploration of Muslim scientists. Right? From 8th century to 13th century was the time of discovery and exploration in Islamic world. Muslim scientists started doing experiments, they started making new inventions and studying a lot about science and making theories and proving them. And it all started when Khalifa al-Ma'mun asked the Muslim scholars to translate the books of science into Arabic for the benefit of Muslim scientists and to create an awareness about science. Because Arabic was a language at that time and it was understandable all around by Muslims. So it was very important to learn science but in their own language to make it easier for them. Right? Then we studied about the Europe and the science developments in Europe after these centuries. In Europe, the science started to progress from 13th century onwards. The work of Muslim scientists were also used by the scientists of Europe and they gained a lot from there and started doing experimentation and exploration to provide latest knowledge and information about science and scientific inventions and to provide facilitation in people's lives, okay? So this is an interesting lesson, interesting unit because we are very much into science these days and we must know the background of our Islamic world as well as the European progress in scientific world. In Islamic world from 8th century to 13th century, we have read that there was a mathematician who had invented algebra and decimal numbers. Who was he? Hasib? Yes, he was Al-Khwarizmi. And we also studied about a Muslim scientist who wrote a book on medicine. Yes, Ibn Sina. Very good, Khadija. And then he studied about Galileo, Copernicus and Vesalius. Galileo invented a telescope. Am I right, boys? And a thermometer. And he was of the view that the earth, planets and the sun, the earth and the means revolve, orbit around sun. Whose point of view was this initially? Earth and planets orbit around the sun and the stars remain still on their places. They don't move at all. Who said this before Galileo? And Galileo supported that point of view. Who was he? The name is written here. Liber. Yes, Copernicus. This was his point of view initially, which was rejected by the Christian church. And Galileo also proved the same, and as a result, the Christian church made him house arrest. But he continued doing work at his home as well. Okay? So, and then we have learnt about Vesalius, but important, he dissected human bodies. For what? Not alive human bodies, but the dead ones. Human bodies, to learn about them, to learn about the internal organs, to learn about the internal system of human body. Vesalius. So these are very important findings which helped science to progress further. Right? In astronomy, like Galileo has invented a telescope. In Copernicus, like he had told about the orbit and sun and planet and what is their routine. And Vesalius, he helped in medicine field by dissecting the human bodies to study the human organs inside the body. Fine. Then we studied about explorations. What is this written on the board? Noor-e Kainat? Magellan. Who was Magellan? We have studied it in detail. Yes, Ahmed Faisal? Quite close. Magellan in 1519 sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. With how many ships? With 5 ships. To explore the world, right? And he started his journey by sailing west instead of east. Regular routine में उसने follow की, east को follow नहीं किया, उसने west से अपना सफर शुरू किया. ठीक है? लेकिन क्या हुआ कि बड़ी जल्दी ही मैगलन जो है वो मारा गया इस सफर में और अपनी मंजिल पर नहीं पहुंच पाया. इन शिप्स में से दानिश कितनी शिप्स पहुंच गई थी? कितनी शिप्स थी जिन्होंने अपना ये सफर पूरा किया? मुझे बताएंगे दानिश? Yes, only one ship. What was the name of that ship? Who will tell me? Let me ask Heather. Ji Heather, can you tell me the name of the only ship that traveled across the world out of these 5? Victoria. Victoria was the only ship that has traveled across the Atlantic Ocean from west to east out of all these 5 ships. Right? And the explorers who were there, who were traveling on Victoria, found out and explored many things on their way in the Atlantic Ocean. Llama and penguins, and they found out different types of plants over there which they had never seen before, right? Throughout the voyage. Voyage किसको कहते हैं? I've just used the word voyage. Voyage क्या होता है? I've told you in detail. Yes, a journey in water is voyage. Journey in water is voyage. Now it's time to start our written work. Please take out your notebooks and please don't forget that you have to submit your work on 21st of December. That means Monday, with complete work of all the subjects written properly with date and day in the school. Please do not forget to do that. Okay. So complete your work, take out your notebooks, prepare the page, and we'll be starting with the questions and answers. Here I am with my first question. Write the name of the explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. Very easy. We have just discussed about him. The name of that explorer is, yes, Magellan. Very good, Emma. We can write it Magellan. Was the explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. See, we have to write a complete answer every time we have to give it. One word answer is no more acceptable. Okay? बेशक इसका आंसर Magellan है, लेकिन your answer will not be acceptable if you won't write the complete statement. Make it sure. Okay? Magellan was the explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. लिख लें जल्दी से. I'll give you a few seconds. I can give you a few seconds, not more than that. Magellan was the explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. Please write neatly with no spelling mistake. Done? Question number 2. Write the name of the ship which completed the voyage around the world. क्या नाम था? Mohit? Yes, very good. Victoria. So we'll write a complete answer. The name of the ship which completed the voyage around the world, not around, okay, round, was Victoria, inverted commas. The name of the ship which completed the voyage around the world was Victoria. Victoria. Please write it completely and quickly. Question number 3. Why did Vesalius dissect the human body? Why did Vesalius dissect the human body? क्यों उसने भी काटना शुरू कर दिया? Why? Anyone? Hasnain? ताकि वो पढ़ सके, बिल्कुल, ताकि वो सीख सके, उनको समझ आ जाए कि ह्यूमन बॉडी के अंदर क्या क्या है. तो क्या लिखेंगे हम? Vesalius dissected the human body to learn about its internal organs. ठीक है? Vesalius dissected the human body to learn about its internal organs. Vesalius dissected the human body to learn about its internal organs. Make sure that you're writing correct spellings, please. Error in spelling is not appreciated. Please, you need to learn the spellings now. Okay, one more question. Question number 4. Name 2 important buildings for scholars in Islamic world in 9th century. We had just discussed it in the beginning of the lesson. It was in the first paragraph of this unit. One is very important, but both of them are very important at that time in 9th century. Name 2 important buildings for scholars in Islamic world in 9th century. I want it from you. कौन सी ऐसी बनाई गई थी बिल्डिंग्स जो स्कॉलर्स को, मुस्लिम स्कॉलर्स को हेल्प आउट करती थी, उनकी मदद करती थी, या जो मटेरियल या जो उनको इंफॉर्मेशन या नॉलेज प्रोवाइड करती थी अबाउट साइंस. अगेन विल राइट कंप्लीट names of the 2 important buildings for scholars in the Islamic world in 9th century are number 1. जी बिल्कुल आप सही पहुंचे हैं. हाउस ऑफ विजडम. शाबाश. हाउस ऑफ विजडम इन इराक. बगदाद उस टाइम पे कहते थे, अब हम इराक कहते हैं. एंड नंबर 2, मदरसा ऑफ अ मॉस्क इन फेस. मदरसा ऑफ अ मॉस्क in Fes. In Fes कहाँ था? मोरक्को में. मोरक्को. ठीक है? Let me make a separate in between. So names of the 2 important buildings for scholars in the Islamic world in 9th century are House of Wisdom in Iraq and Madrasa of a mosque in Fes, Morocco. Here it is. House of Wisdom, Madrasa of a mosque in Fes. Okay, now we'll be revising these questions and answers again so that you may get more time to complete your work. Question number 1, I have erased, but I do remember it was named the explorer. Write the name of the explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. So it was here. Here Magellan. M भी मिठी गया मेरा. गड़बड़. No problem. Magellan was an explorer who sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with 5 ships. Right? Then our question number 2. Write the name of the ship which completed the voyage around the world. The name of the ship which completed the voyage around the world was Victoria. Question number 3. Why did Vesalius dissect the human body? Vesalius dissected the human body to learn about its internal organs. Question number 4. Name 2 important buildings for scholars in Islamic world in 9th century. Names of the 2 important buildings for scholars in the Islamic world in 9th century are House of Wisdom, Iraq, and Madrasa of a Mosque in Fez, Morocco. Okay, we have completed unit number 9 now. All the written work has been done. Skills book का काम जब हम वापस आएंगे इंशाल्लाह हम तब करेंगे. और एक चीज़ बड़ी इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि मंडे को आपकी कॉपीज आ जाएं एक बैग में, एक किसी भी कपड़े के थैले में, शॉपिंग बैग में आपने पैक करना है. उसके ऊपर नाम लिखना है, क्लास लिखनी है और जितनी कॉपीज आपकी उस बैग में हैं वो लिखनी है और फिर स्कूल में सबमिट करवानी है. इसके बगैर सबमिशन नहीं होगी. ठीक है बच्चे, आप लोगों ने इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो करते हुए अपना काम सबमिट करवाएं ताकि हम ऑन टाइम इसकी चेकिंग कंप्लीट कर सकें. थैंक यू. अल्लाह हाफिज़.